Hi, this is Frances from Yoga Glow Studio. This is the first of our 7-day course in yoga. So we're going completely back to basics, to the foundations of yoga. So I hope you will really enjoy this. If you have blocks at home, it is a good idea to just get blocks for the first posture. You shouldn't need them after that. If you don't have blocks, just find a couple of cushions from your sofa. That'll do just fine, or you may not even need them anyway. So we're going to start just lying down on our backs, and you can find a butterfly pose or Supta Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit. So this is just bringing the soles of the feet together and either just letting the legs come out, or it might be more comfortable to find support. So I like to bring blocks or a cushion underneath the legs and just place them a little bit under the calves and a little bit under the thighs, but just find the spot that works for you if you're using some support, and then relax. Allow yourself to just settle into the space that you're in, and just bring your awareness to the breath. Just giving yourself permission to be present and aware in this moment in time. Noticing any sounds around you, noticing the temperature of the room, and just start to soften the muscles in the face, relaxing all the muscles in the face, and just connecting with your breath. See if you can relax the muscles even a little bit more, and start to just deepen and lengthen the breath now. In through the nose and out through the nose, maybe taking a few exhales out the mouth, and with each exhale just letting go of any tension, any worries that you may be facing, just letting it go on the exhale. Just allowing yourself to go within to that place of inner quiet. So in the foundational text of yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, he says that the primary aim of yoga is to cease the fluctuations of the mind. So most of the time we are facing a multitude of things in the mind. We have worries about things, we're juggling lots of things that we have to get done, and we might experience anxiety, worries, fears, and then conflicting desires. So it's just really, really busy most of the time for most of us, especially in modern day life, where we are also juggling lots of conversations via social media, and just the pace of life is so fast. So yoga gives us this opportunity to slow the mind right down, to get out of the conceptual head, and using the breath. So the breath is absolutely key. So we connect mind, body and spirit together with the breath. And we can achieve this moving meditation for ourselves. So I'll guide you as much as I can with the breath today, so you can connect the breath with the movement and help to still the mind. So the breath is really your anchor to stay present and aware in this moment together. So engaging your Ujjayi or oceanic breath. This is in through the nose and out through the nose. With the exhale, you can just imagine that you're trying to fog up a mirror. You'd normally do that through the mouth, but we're doing it through the nose. So it's a strong breath, not forced, but strong, intentional breath. And you can hear it. So I'm going to just engage my Ujjayi breath now to give you a guide, so you can hear my breath. So it's intentional, but it's really relaxed. So no straining. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry. Just breathe evenly and deeply while keeping the face, head, neck and shoulders relaxed. Just experimenting it without any pressure. Part of yoga is also non-judgment, so not judging it, just experimenting with it and just being present in the moment and enjoying the feel of breathing intentionally and deeply today. So we're going to work mainly with the hips, opening up the hips today and also getting into the psoas. So this is a wonderful session for you if you have a mainly desk-bound job or you're sitting a lot, either at a desk or driving. But it's good for everyone because we're getting into parts of the body that most of us don't actually get into very often unless you do a lot of sport. And actually some sports can be not getting into these areas at all. So really one of the few ways we can get into these areas is with yoga. And we can also release a lot of mental tension from the psoas, from the hips with these movements. So releasing blocks and stress from the body with our movement. So when you're ready, we're going to, if you had cushions, just releasing the cushions or the blocks. And then we're going to just stretch and reach the left leg out and draw the right knee in towards the shoulder. I want you to tuck the chin slightly into the chest so you lengthen the back of the neck. Just hugging that right knee in. Keep the left leg engaged and the foot flexed. With the right foot you may just, oh, that was my ankle clicking on the right side. So you can maybe take some circles into that right ankle. Anything that feels comfortable as you just squeeze and get into that right hip flexor. Good. So by keeping the left leg nice and engaged, we're making sure both hips are anchored, and then we're supporting the lower back, engaging the abdominal muscles just a little bit. And then from here, when you're ready, just bring the left hand onto the right leg, and we're going to draw it over to the left side and bring the right arm out with the palm up. And it's still early, so we're not going to bring pressure down onto the right thigh with the left hand. It's just there as a gentle guide. At the same time, you're just seeing if you can anchor the right shoulder close to the ground or onto the ground and relax the face and just stay with that steady breath. Good, and then we'll come back to center now. So just coming back to center, and this time we'll stretch the right leg out and draw the left knee in, hugging it in towards the left shoulder. And again, maybe finding some movement in the left ankle, and remembering to keep the right leg nice and engaged with the right foot flexed. Bring a smile, make sure that you're not clenching. So often we try so hard, and yoga should be about letting go. So yes, concentrating, finding that strong focus, but at the same time nice and relaxed, no forcing, no clenching. And then we'll bring that leg over to the right side, look over the left shoulder, again maybe closing the left eyes, not the left eyes, closing the eyes and dropping the left shoulder down and relax here. Settle the breath. Good. And then from here we'll come back to center and we'll find a bridge pose. So you can start to just bring the hands down towards the feet. Maybe just find your heels with the toes and then bring the arms and the hands back out to the sides. And we're just going to press and lift up the hips, squeeze and lift the hips. Tucking the chin gently in. Keep drawing the tailbone forward to the front of the room. You can always interlink the hands under the back. Otherwise, just stay focused on drawing the knees together so they're on the same line as the hips. Good. It's a wonderful pose for insomnia and a wonderful pose just for really beating the blues. So it's Really good for the mind, for calming the mind, making you feel good. And when you're ready, just very gently lowering down. And we're going to take a counter pose for this. So I want you just to lift up the legs and bring the hands onto the knees. Bring the knees over the hips and just draw the navel to the spine here. And then I want you just to draw the knees in towards you and slide the hands down the legs a little bit. And then we'll bring the knees out just a little bit over the hips, maybe a bit further. Good. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to draw away. Inhale forward. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale forward. And exhale away. Good. And bringing the hands onto the knees, we're just going to find some circles with the knees, circling in one way, one direction, and circling back round the other way. This is just all about nourishing and sending a reassuring message to the lower back that just worked hard in your bridge pose. So just getting rid of any niggles. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll make our way up to a seat. So you can travel up to a seat any way you want to. You can rock and roll on the back or roll to one side to come up. And we'll just come into cross-legged position, seated cross-legged position, sitting up nice and tall. And let's start to awaken the energy. So sometimes this is known as Kundalini energy. You can take some big circles in the spine. And in the Kundalini tradition, they see this coiled serpent at the base of the spine. And you're awakening the energy, and it's drawing all the way up your spine, up through the crown of the head, coming back around the other way. Closing your eyes or opening them, whichever feels appropriate to you. Good, and we'll come back to center now, switching the cross of the legs to the more unusual cross now. Regrounding through both sit bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, right hand down, left hand up and over. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, side body stretch, right side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, palms to your heart. And again, inhaling, arms rise. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Good. So from here, we're going to just turn to face the top of the mat. If you didn't have your hair tied back and you need to, you might just like to tie your hair back now. Maybe take socks off because you're going to need to grip with your feet soon. And we're going to just bring the right shin across the mat. So the right shin crosses and the left thigh is more or less parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then from here, we're just going to lean or come forward. So this is a variation of deer pose. So you can just bring yourself forward however much is comfortable. And hopefully you should feel a really deep stretch in the right outer hip and leg. So really targeting the outer hip, the glutes, just falling down as much as feels comfortable. And then we'll come back up. You can walk the hands back behind you. Now I want you just to draw that left hip forward, so we're getting a big stretch into the front of the left hip. Now open up the chest. And then releasing, and we'll bring the left leg out to the side. And just tuck the right foot into that leg. And I want you just to draw the body over that leg, and we'll find our head to knee or Janushirshasana pose. So you can just fold over that leg as much as feels comfortable or accessible. And if you've got really tight hamstrings, you might like to bring a cushion under the knee, or if it feels more comfortable to keep that left leg a little bit bent, you're just using a cushion. Dropping the head, neck and shoulders down. And when you're ready, we'll walk the hands back, and you can bring the right hand back behind you, and let's lift up the left arm and maybe roll the weight onto that right knee and lift up the hips, open up through the heart space. Big stretch as you squeeze and lift the hips. And then we'll release everything back down to the ground. Good. So from here, we'll just switch sides. You can bring the left leg across the mat, and the right thigh is parallel. And then just again, fold down as much as feels accessible. And we'll walk the hands back, all the way back behind you. And again, draw that right hip forward, press the right hip forward. At the same time, opening up through the shoulders. You can have your hands pointing either way, whichever feels best. Good, and then from here, bringing the hands forward, and we'll bring the right leg out. And find your Janushirshasana to the right, folding over the right leg. Head, neck and shoulders relax down. Palms may be down or palms may be facing up. Maybe try both and see what feels better for you. And then from here, we'll walk the hands back. And you can bring the left hand behind you, and again reach up the right arm and maybe lift the hips, rolling the weight onto the left shoulder, the left knee, sorry. Opening up, squeeze and lift the hips. Feel the sense of freedom throughout your whole body. Good, and then lowering back down. So just noticing how you feel as you move into a tabletop position. We start to really down-regulate the nervous system. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward. And exhale to round, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale forward. And exhale to round. One more like this. Inhale forward, drop the belly. And exhale, puff up between the shoulders, hug the belly in. Good. And coming back to center, we'll bring the knees a little bit closer together. And let's see about reaching the right leg back. So notice how my hips are even. The leg is hopefully parallel to the floor. Lower back's neutral. Reach the left arm forward. And let's link the breath with the movement here as we interchange between sides. Inhale. And exhale, left leg, right arm. Good. Keep moving like this in your own breath rhythm. You can't get it wrong as long as you're breathing evenly and rhythmically, more or less timing it with the movement in a way that makes sense to you. One more on each side. Good, and release. So from here, we're going to come into plank pose. So you can walk the knees back, So you can find your variation of plank that I'm showing now with the knees down. If you're here, just make sure you're lifting belly to spine, so you are engaging the core and you're making this dynamic. Might feel accessible to just pop up on the feet, maybe a micro bend in the arms, and just really connect with your core strength, whichever version you've taken. Pressing into the balls of the feet or into the toes. Inhale, let's shift the weight forward, and exhale in one line, or knees, chest, forehead down to the ground. And hands underneath the shoulders, roll the shoulders back, and we're going to tuck the elbows into the waist as we come up. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale. And again, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's pose. You can bring the knees wide, find a wide-legged balasana, hips to heels, and we'll take 3 steady breaths here. Good, and when you're ready, let's make our way up and we'll find our first downward dog. So just paddling out the legs left and right. Good, and when you're ready, we're going to pick up the right leg, open up the right hip, and find some circles, circling that hip. Just a couple of circles in each direction. Good, and when you're ready, sending that right leg back, squaring off the hips, pointing the toes down so the foot is flexed. As you look forward, take an inhale, and exhale, we'll step the right foot up outside the right hand, so to the edge of the mat. So here, rocking back and forth. If it's too much, you can already drop the knee down. And then dropping the knee down, so finding our lizard. So you can either find stillness in your lizard, just holding it here, or maybe if you have blocks, bringing them under the arms, or you can find some movement in your lizard. So in my home practice, I always like to rock forward and back in lizard, moving intuitively, sometimes rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. So maybe close your eyes and just tune into what your body is calling for from your lizard pose. So I very rarely hold it in a static way. I like to flow here and find some movement into the hip. So here, really opening up the inner thigh, the groin, the hip, the psoas. This is one of the best postures that I can recommend if you have a desk job. Maybe holding it, or holding a version of this pose just for the last couple of breaths. I'm going to come onto my forearms on blocks and roll to the edge of the right foot, but just do you. And relax here, head, neck and shoulders relaxing down. Good, and then we'll release, and we're going to just set the blocks off to the side, and we're just going to step straight back to downward dog. So stepping back to downward dog, again it might feel nice to bend and straighten the legs here, paddling out the legs. And then whenever you're ready, finding some stillness as you draw the chest towards the thighs, pressing into the hands, pressing the weight evenly into the hands. And then we'll lift up the left leg, or open up the left leg this time, and find your circles. Just 2 circles in each direction. And then sending that leg back as you look forward, flexing the left foot and really drawing long through the left leg. Big inhale. And exhale, step the left leg up to the top of the mat. Again, maybe keeping the knee lifted. Just for a little movement here as you rock or pulse forward and back. And then when you're ready, dropping the right knee down. And again, finding your lizard flow here. And perhaps finding some stillness if you had movement just for the last bit of the posture. Just, if anything, slowing the breath even a little more, down regulating the nervous system as we go through our practice. And release. We're going to set the blocks off to the side. And we're going to flex that back foot, look forward, take a big inhale, and exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, let's lengthen out. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, palms to the heart. Good, so from here we'll find a standing sequence. So we can bring the toes, spreading the toes of the right foot wide, spreading the weight evenly across that right foot. And then we're going to come into one-legged Tadasana. So just lifting up the left leg, and you can always have a little micro bend in the right leg. Lift up from the waist. And then when you're ready, let's inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale here. And exhale, come back to high lunge in prayer. Good. Inhale, reach the arms forward, one-legged Tadasana. And exhale, coming back. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, flowing back. Good. Breathe here as you sink the hips down. One more inhale. Exhale into your warrior two pose. Breathe here. Front heel in line with back arch or back heel. Front knee over front ankle. Heel left hip open. And make sure that knee doesn't fall in, it stays over the ankle. And you want your right shoulder to be over the right hip. So finding that alignment for yourself and looking forward. Pressing through both feet evenly. Good. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach forward. And exhale, side angle pose, and reach up tall. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Good. Find the natural rhythm of your breath. Let's straighten the front leg, bring the hands onto the hips. And we're going to bring the feet out at a 45-degree angle and find star pose. So reach the arms up here. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale. Exhale, start to sink the hips down, adjusting as you need to. Imagine that you're just sliding down a wall. You want to keep your back flat against it. So avoiding a sway back, keeping the back nice and flat. Maybe bringing the arms up, interlinking the hands and coming into your full temple pose. Breathe here. One more inhale. And exhale, we'll bring the hands onto the knees. So just taking the pressure off the legs a little bit. We're going to lengthen the tailbone back, lengthen the whole spine. Inhale here. Exhale, dip the right shoulder, look under the left. Inhale, come back. Exhale, dip the left shoulder, look over the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, folding, heel toe the feet out a little bit wider. Feet are now parallel to the short edges of the mat. Let the head and neck just hang down. And you can imagine any final tension just coming down the back and being released through the crown of the head to the ground. Let go. And when you're ready, we're going to lift up, walk the hands forward, take an inhale here. Then exhale, walk the hands around the top of the mat. Let's drop the back knee down here. Plant the left hand. I'm going to find a twist, right hand up. Good. So keep reaching up tall. Do a big twist in the mid upper thoracic spine. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, look forward as you flex the back foot. Exhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Well done. And before we take the sequence on the second side, just bring one hand over the other onto the heart space. Close the eyes and just connect to yourself here. Soften the face. And just for now, I want you to think about any challenges that you're facing in your life at this particular moment. Just picturing them now, any challenges you have, any difficulties you may be facing. And just feeling a sense of peace, a sense of surrender. And a knowing that you have everything inside you to cope with each challenge and each difficulty you may be facing. Just taking one step at a time and staying in this peaceful place that you can feel now. That's always available to you when you connect to your breath and start to move in time with your body, with the breath, connecting mind, body and spirit together. And getting into your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest, digest, heal mode. So when you're ready, just blink open the eyes again. And we're going to bring the weight into the left foot this time and come into your one-legged Tadasana, standing on the left leg. Lift up from the waist, relax the shoulders down the back. Inhale, bring the hands together at the heart. And exhale, stepping back. Inhale to stay. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, flowing back. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Breathe here. And when you're ready, we'll open to your warrior two. Settling in, just making those adjustments so you're aligned Finding that one pointed focus. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, side angle, reach for the sky. Inhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Breathe here as you adjust your position. Maybe bring the left foot out slightly. And we'll plant the right hand, drop the right knee down. Find your twist. And one more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, flex the back foot. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold, heel toeing the feet out, finding your Malasana yogi squat. If it feels too much, you can just simply take a seat and find a butterfly fold, just bringing the soles of the feet together, as we did lying down when we started the class. Otherwise, just hold your yogi squat, lifting up through the crown of the head, grounding down as if you could grow roots into the ground. And when you're ready, let's come down to a seat. You can find your Navasana. So drawing the shoulders back. Imagine you had this golden thread coming up from the heart space, lifting you up as you lift up both legs, and keep lifting up from the center of the chest. And then maybe open up the arms and legs. Picturing that golden string always lifting you up from the heart. Stay with that steady breath. One more inhale. Exhale, release. You can fold everything in, give yourself a hug. And when you are ready, let's make our way into Shavasana. So finding any extra layers of clothing or a blanket if you want to, and then just lowering yourself down onto your mat. And we'll bring the legs hip width or wider, taking up as much space as feels comfortable. Arms to the sides, palms up, tucking the chin gently in to lengthen the back of the neck. And now just let go. So letting go of the body, the breath, the mind. Taking this opportunity to rest fully and completely. The mind is still and calm. The body has fresh oxygenated blood pumping to every cell. And you're perfectly primed to receive, hopefully, a delicious relaxation here that will leave you feeling refreshed and revitalized. And when you're ready, it's time to start to wake up. You can start to circle the wrists and ankles perhaps, and deepen and lengthen the breath. And then when you're ready, just rolling over onto your right side, making a pillow for your head with your hand or your arm, keeping your eyes closed for now. And keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, use your outer hand to press up to a seat. Finding across the leg here to seated position or any seated comfortable position for yourself. Round through the sit bones, hands on the knees or maybe onto the upper chest, one over the other. Just connecting to yourself here. So yoga means union to yourself, but also that union to everybody else, everything else, that recognition that we are all drops in the ocean of human consciousness, that we're all unique, we all have unique gifts to share with humanity, but we're also completely interdependent on each other. We're not separate, and we're not separate from nature either. So when you're ready, let's bring hands together in prayer at our heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed day 1 of beginner's yoga, and I'll be releasing the next video very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening.